Why do I talk so much about national divorce? And we're doing a whole special on it. National divorce. Why do I talk so much about it? I think I should give you the why before I give you all this other stuff, Biden and the divide and where we're at and all of our great guests and all that. I do think I should give you the why. I'm just going to be real honest with you here. I've seen some really, really ugly violence in my life. That's just how life works. I don't need you to feel bad for me. That's how life works. So be it. It's awful. I mean, it's not like in the movies. It's really, 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 it's awful. It's not things. I remember seeing things and actually thinking to myself as I'm seeing them, wow, that sucks. I really hope a lot of people don't have to see things like this in their lives. Like at the time, I remember thinking that. And that was on foreign soil for the most part. Seen some death here too, but let's set that aside. And when I think about our nation right now and where we are and us going like this, separating so quickly, when I talk about national divorce, it's not as if I feel like it's going to happen the way I want it to happen. You know, everybody, both sides come together. Let's sit down at the table. Let's divide up the assets. And it's not as if I'm not naive. I understand it's not likely. I understand all the roadblocks between here and national divorce. There is only one reason I push for it so hard and why I want it so bad. I think that violence is coming here. I think it is inevitable. Because remember, a nation, no matter the size, call it a tribe, a tiny tribe in the outback somewhere, or a huge, powerful country like America. It only comes into existence for one reason. A group of people decide they share common values, and so they can live with each other. And because they share common values, we believe the same things. If we come together and live together, we will have more safety and more prosperity. You know, the sum of two parts is greater than two or something like that. I don't know. I'm not an algebra expert, but you understand what I mean, though. If we work together, it's more prosperous. We're more safe. That's the only reason to become a nation or a tiny tribe, whatever the level is. But, and this has happened a million times in history before, if we don't share any common values, then what we've created is not some nation of safety and prosperity. What we've created is a powder keg that's going to blow. It's a cage with two animals who hate each other living inside of it. They're going to fight. They're going to hurt each other, possibly really badly. We must separate them. We must separate. That does not make me happy to say. And I don't think any of our guests tonight are going to be thrilled about it. I'm not sitting here, woohoo, break up the country, baby. That'll be awesome. That sucks. I love this place. I'd die for this place. I don't want to see anybody get hurt. I don't. Not on the left, not on the right, nobody. I don't want to see a single American get hurt. And I am really genuinely worried we are racing towards a place in this society, whether it be on a large scale or a smaller scale, where people are going to get hurt. And I don't want it. And the truth is, it's gotten to the point I almost feel like the left does want it. I mean, when you have major politicians, we're not talking about just some nutball on the internet. The most powerful people on the left, when they talk like this, I have to tell you, I think they want violence.
And we won't ignore what our intelligence agencies have determined to be the most lethal terrorist threat to the homeland today. White supremacy is terrorism.
White supremacy? What, white supremacy? When was the last time you saw a large organized gathering of white supremacists, period? Which is funny. When is the last time you met a white supremacist at all? I'm not saying there aren't any out there. Obviously, there's always a supremacist of some skin color out there. There's no question. Racism tends to be the nature of man. When's the last time you met one?
Are you fucking kidding me? Jesse, I really do respect you. When you say something, it is truthful. But in this case, you're wrong. White supremacists? Joe Biden is a goddamn white supremacist. Come on! This guy's been preaching segregation and everything else. His son is a white supremacist. His whole damn family's a white supremacist.
Let's welcome back to the show the Daily Caller editorial director, Vince Colanese. Vince, love having you back on. What's the political fallout of this story? The Daily Mail reporting that emails that forensic experts examined from Hunter Biden's laptop allegedly show Hunter Biden using racist slurs multiple times. What's the fallout of this?
I guess it depends on how you use the word fallout. I mean, measurably, nothing in terms of the mainstream press. The media has done what it normally does with Hunter Biden stories, ignores them. We were told last year there was this pretext that, well, maybe these are hacked materials and maybe they aren't real. Maybe this is Russian propaganda. All of that is these are lies. It's all real. It definitely was real. There's forensics have been done on the laptop. It's totally real. The emails are totally real.
On to one of our favorite wastrel sons of politics. I mean, none other than Hunter Biden. Rita, tell us what Joe's son has been up to now.
Oh, goodness me. Well, he completely got away with repeatedly using the N-word. I mean, that is a crime that gets people completely cancelled. It gets youngsters thrown out of universities. Things they said when they were 14, 15 years old gets them chucked out of university as adults. And yet the president's son really had very little blowback for that. Now there's an anti-Asian slur that's been revealed in text message exchanges he's had with his cousin. We can see his cousin there in the picture with Hunter Biden. But I tell you, I've had a look at these text messages, gentlemen, and the anti-Asian slur is possibly one of the least disturbing things. That this exchange, I think we can put up some of the text messages. It's something you'd expect a human trafficker or a pimp to be talking about. The way, you know, they're just talking about women. I also have Denise, a German, 26, Nicola, Diva, and Ella and Lucy. I know a few quality girls. Then he says no to Lucy. Okay, fine, the cousin says. Do you want foreign or domestic? He goes, and you have to make the pitch directly. And then she says, I can't give you expletive Asian. Sorry, I'm not doing it. And then he says he wants a domesticated foreigner is fine. And then she goes, I'll give you Isabella, but she has kids and an NBA ex-husband. And then he comes back with no yellow, which is a ugly Asian slur. So the whole thing is just disgusting. And I cannot believe, again, the US media being fairly uninterested in all this. Can you imagine if this was Donald Trump Jr.? It would be leading every news service in Australia, let alone America.
And you ever tell me there's no white supremacist? Get the hell out of here. He's the one that stole the election. Your president is a white supremacist.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Antifa is a white supremacist. White liberals are white supremacists.
Racist comments or politics as usual. So Dr. Ben Carson, you may be familiar with him. He's an up-and-coming African-American in the Republican Party. Anyway, he's being taken to task tonight after making some controversial comments on Mark Levin's conservative radio show. Here it is.
You're attacked also in many respects because of your race, because you're not supposed to think like this and talk like this. A lot of white liberals just don't like it, do they?
Well, they're the most racist people there are because, they put you in a little category, a little box. You have to think this way. How could you dare come off the plantation?
How could you dare come off the plantation? Carson.
Being friendly and being a friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though, that...
And I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Their appetite is the same, Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms and methods that differ.
And again, I have to say this, I do agree with Jesse. To go through America's possible divorce, it's going to be bloody. It's going to be brutal. It's nothing that you want to kind of go through. It's nothing that you want to elect to see. But at the end of the day, I share nothing in common with the white liberal. Nothing. They want to bring up the past. Let's bring up the past. Malcolm X said it best. You can't trust a white liberal. They will use you because you're meat. You're food. You're nothing but a dinner plate. They will put on a nice face and stab you in the back. I don't believe in their indoctrination of kids so that they think that they're sexually fluid. I don't agree with them trying to indoctrinate everybody and put them in categories where they have to act in a certain way. I don't agree with anything they say in terms of this whole divide and conquer, where everyone is out to get you, when it's just them. There is no common ground with these people. None. Even the liberals that said, we want to take back our votes. You had plenty of time to look at the fucking news. That cracker said some of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. Don't get me wrong. They had to pull some strings to steal that election. But the people that voted for that cracker are just as bad, and I don't like them. You can't ignore him saying the things he said, even as a gaffe. The things that his son have said. The things he's promoted. And just because he wants to pull up a whole bunch of token faces as if he's for the people, BLM acting like tokens. His token troop are still tokens. Your real enemy, the white liberal. Because we have no common ground. They want to use you, plain and simple. You can't work with these people. There will be no prosperity if these people remain alive. There will be no America if these people remain alive. Your best option, if there is a war, kill the white liberal. I know of no good white liberal. I know of none. None. They're better off dead, eradicated, killed. There's no working with them. There's no reasoning with them. They act erratic. They are erratic. So they need to be eradicated. I wish there were a peaceful solution. I really do. They've had time and time again to prove their valor. But they invested so much. Our Marines are full of gay people. People that question their race and everything else. And set them on a mission. Can't even be proud to be an American. They infest America by importing roaches. Roaches! It's a spit in the face of my family who had to come in here legally. While these people, they let the back door open, they come in. And every time I see a commercial in Espanol, I don't see it in any other language. There are a lot of other people from all over the place. Come in here legally. But you put it in one language. One language alone. That's ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. I am sick and tired of the white liberal. They need to be eradicated. Plain and simple.